Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 10 of Laura's Happy Corner podcast. I'm so happy today. I have with me Jen Palko. She's a longtime friend, a licensed acupuncturist, an amazing entrepreneur. You are the operations director of S.U.N, Spiritually United Network, which she'll tell us more about in just a moment. And you also do self-hypnosis. You have YouTube videos, blog posts, and soon courses and a book coming out. So that's awesome. Thank you so much that you took the time today to talk to me about
the
law of
thanks
attraction.
for having me on. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be here.
Go ahead.
I'm excited to be here. So
tell us more. I figure the best way to jump into this. Yes, the art of letting go. We used to get together for lunch and dinner, and always the conversation seemed to go back to, manifestation and the law of attraction, in the sense that, we both just kind of had that entrepreneurial heart and we wanted to manifest our dreams. We knew that there was greatness out there. And yeah, I'm going to let you take it away from there, because I love that we reconnected and we always seem to come back together. And I just think that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, essentially the law of attraction brought us back together because we've been friends since high school or something like that. And, lost touch for a while. And then I don't know how many years ago it was, but we reconnected through social media or just randomly. And we both had an interest in law of attraction, and we went out to lunch and just talked about it. And exactly what you said, this kind of I know that I've always had this yearning to just follow what was in alignment to me, or my passion or my purpose. And, many years of searching for that. And, it's been many years of learning along the way, starting with watching the movie The Secret, which came out in 2006 or something like that. And, it all started there with law of attraction and this idea of, okay, I can actually, obtain things in my life or manifest things in my life. I don't have to always live for other people, or, live according to just what society is telling me. There's a whole world out there of just expanding the mind that can really lead to, what truly makes us happy, or what's truly in alignment with us and our purpose and our passion and stuff like that. So, I know you and I have had similar experiences with with law of attraction, and just it going from a place of kind of this sugar-coated idea of thoughts become things, right? It's a very appealing concept, right? We're just oh my gosh, we live in a society where it's quick fix, gimmick, I can, just click my heels 3 times and manifest money or dream house or whatever I want, to it shifting. I saw the movie in maybe 2013, 14, just randomly stumbled on it at work one day. And it shifted to a place of, well, no, it's not a gimmicky thing. It's something that you're living truly every single moment of your life. It's working 24/7. We just don't often realize it. And getting to a place where it's, no longer this external validation or wanting things that are outside of me, to now working from the inside out and basically raising my vibration and my frequency to a place where I'm getting more in alignment to things that I feel essentially that I already have in my life, or actually living it to attract it to me.
Yes. And it's funny. I want to address this question. It was such a good question. We just did an Instagram live.
This is take 2, guys.
Yeah, apparently, at least this is my podcast, and hopefully it won't get reported for mentioning The Secret. I've mentioned it before, but apparently Instagram didn't like that we talked about The Secret and said the movie name so many times, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it it didn't get recorded, and we were like, oh man, because it was such a good conversation, and we'd been planning on doing this podcast interview anyway, and as an extension of that, and that's what this is. But I'm glad, and not glad, but I'm not bummed about it happening. Like at first I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We just had this great thing I've been looking forward to, and now I can't even put it on my Instagram page or wherever else and share it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was people that tuned in late that were like, don't worry, it's being recorded.
Yeah.
And instead I was like, you know what? Instead of like stressing over it, it is what it is. And we've been saying, oh, we will do the podcast episode. Well, that was kind of like, I took it as the universe's way of saying, you know what, you're going to do it today, right now, because
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
already
I
in
mean,
the
it's
zone. We just talked about it. We were like amped up about it, and why put it off? And so if that got recorded and we saved it and shared it, we might have put off this podcast. And I think that everything happens for a reason. So.
right. And I was saying, I just received an email right after the Instagram live we just did, and it said, I don't get upset over things I can control, because if I can control them, there's no sense in getting upset. And I don't get upset over things I can't control, because if I can't control them, there's no sense in getting upset. And that was a Nikki Rivers quote that just randomly popped up. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because afterwards I was, a little ticked off, but I was like, you know what? You can't let those things ruin your day. There's a reason that it happened, and maybe that reason is we're doing the podcast right now, and it's going to be even better. So you just have to laugh about it sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly what we chose to do. That's awesome. And now we can address some of the really good questions that we had, and because it fits right into what we're talking about today. And so, someone asked, what are the things that you do? If it's all about staying in a good vibration, what are some of the things you do daily to stay in a good vibration? And, we're talking about debunking some myths here, and there's a lot. I mean, there's so many things, like the law of attraction. That subject is so saturated, and people are, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And there's helpful advice, there's not so helpful advice. But the most important thing is, like, just because someone somewhere along the line, even us, just because we say you should do something, if you're not feeling it and that's not like sitting right with you, there's plenty of things you can do to raise your vibration. We're going to talk about some of those things. It doesn't have to be meditation. It doesn't have to be affirmations. It doesn't, even gratitude. I mean, gratitude is so important to express every day, and not just for like material things or with people, but like just your being here, the fact that you're here now, and all that had to happen in the universe in order for you to be here. There's a reason, there's a purpose. It starts there. But if you're not feeling it one day and you don't feel like sitting, it becomes a task to just go through these things in your head, or the affirmations in your head, or, oh, okay, I have to set aside these 15 minutes. I'm forcing myself to meditate. You're not doing anyone any favors, especially yourself. You're not fooling the universe. You've got to be aligned with what you do. And there's many ways to get in a good vibration. And it all starts with making yourself happy, self-love,
Right.
doing things that fulfill you or center you, even if it's just a couple minutes out of your day to walk in nature or take a ride over to the beach, or if it's an indoor kind of day, take unplug from your work and watch a travel video, or put on a good song that you love and cheers you up. And for me, music makes me so happy and elevates my mood and my vibration almost instantly. So those are some of the things that I do. So, but yeah, the most important thing is you have to feel. It's all about emotion, and you have to be aligned with what you're doing and understand that what you're doing is helping you. Like, you believe that whatever it is you want, not only can you have it, you already do have it.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's an awareness, first of all, an awareness of how you're feeling, because so many of us go throughout life on just autopilot mode, right? We're not aware of what we're doing. I mean, think of all the steps you took just to walk into this room and sit down. And, there's probably 100 steps that you took to do that, but you're not aware of them because your subconscious mind is just on autopilot. You're just doing them. It makes it easier for you, obviously, where you don't have to think about it all the time. So we're trained, to not really feel. We're not present in our bodies. And you see this a lot in just society, especially now. Everybody's in this reaction mode, right? We just react to things. I know you and I have talked before, like road rage and stuff like that, where somebody cuts you off, you react to them right away. You don't take those extra couple seconds to breathe and just like feel actually where you are in time and space and how you feel in your body, and those feelings that you're getting, that rage that's just lifting up, because your body is going to have a physical reaction, right? It's going to have some sort of signal that it's telling you. So the more aware you can be and the more present you can be in your body is huge, because then you can start to shift it by realizing, okay, this doesn't make me feel good, because your body knows, it tells you, right? You get this constricted feeling in your solar plexus area, or you get this expansive feeling when something feels good to you. So you know when you feel aligned with something and when you don't. And that's where it starts. And that's where, something like the law of attraction, it gets sugar coated and it's very glossy, right? People want things that they don't actually want. There's something called a conscious unconscious conflict. Your conscious mind wants it. You're writing affirmations. I want $1 million. I want this. I want a new car. You want what other people have, but it's not necessarily what you want. But subconsciously, you don't believe that you can attain it for yourself. You don't believe that you're worthy of money or something like that. So you have to look at it from an energetic standpoint and not from the standpoint of stuff, right? Material stuff. Right. And that's where the movie, something like The Secret, it's like the magic genie pops out of the bottle and it's like, or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, let's rub it. And okay, I'm going to ask for a new red car and, it's going to just show up. And I'm sitting on the couch thinking about it. The thing they fail to mention is action, right? It's intention plus action. So you have to move. For energy to move, you have to move. Otherwise, everything is just stagnant. Nothing's going to happen. So you have to take some sort of action in your life towards what you're trying to attain. And part of it is also living in that place, not wanting, not needing, not desiring, because that's all coming from a place of lack. So you have to live in that space. So it's like what you want is up here. You put it up on a pedestal, and how you feel is down here. You're not aligned with it. So you have to keep tuning that radio station, right? Till you can get matched up with it. And that's where you'll start to see things come to fruition in your life. So it's not about, and I've done this, in my past years of forcing and trying to make things happen, right? And I spent a long time waiting. And it's like, where is it, universe? Where is it? And it was only until I surrendered and trusted myself and let stuff go where I would look back and be like, or just like be present and be like, wow, okay. Like what I have in my life right now, it's stuff that I actually did want years ago, and it manifested, but it manifested because I didn't focus so much on the manifestation. I didn't try so hard to make it happen. It was something that I always had in the back of my mind. And I guess I just had knowing that it would happen, but it was just like, wow, okay, here it is. And I didn't, expect it to just like knock on my door, and it just kind of showed up, and I was just I observed something that was already existing.
And it's because we get so caught up in the how we, it's like, I almost picture in my mind the universe, like looking down, like if we have just such tunnel vision, and it's like, if you can only see that there are an infinite number of ways for things to happen, and we're not consciously aware of all of those things, because our conscious mind is just, there's not the capacity for it. Our subconscious knows all and knows of these limitless possibilities, but we have to trust that subconscious and let go of like this obsession, like you said, you were like, obsessed. And it's really funny because, of course we had our live and now we're doing this. And right in between, I got an email and from someone I love following about manifestation. And it was about obsession and how I read it. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I have to mention it, how it's a roadblock. Like you're on your journey. And as much as quotes are corny, it's all about the journey. It's not the destination. Everyone thinks I'm going to be happy when when this happens,
Yeah.
But this obsession to make things happen and this obsession with thinking that you're only going to be satisfied and happy and fulfilled once you get something, that is like a total roadblock, and it's when you let go, or like, I love metaphors and one of them is holding sand in your hand. It's like a relationship too. Anything you hold it, you kind of, if you loosen your palm and you just let the sand sit there, it's not going to go anywhere. You start to squeeze and grip. What happens? The sand starts to come through and slip through your fingers. You're holding on too tight. You become too overbearing with anything. You overwater a plant, you're going to kill it. Like it's
you push it away from you, or
yes. And so maybe you don't mean to do that. And you're actually thinking if you focus and focus and focus and focus on it, that it's going to bring it to you, but you're actually creating resistance. And, I'm not knocking on the secret. I know neither are you. It's a great introduction to the law of attraction. And it's what got me interested, and I wish I had seen it sooner, but everything happens in divine timing. So I saw it when I was meant to see it. And ever since I saw it, that instant awareness of just beyond, like, limitless things, but like the belief in the unseen, things started to shift right then and there. And so it all begins with acknowledging, the universe loves action, like you said before about action. And it doesn't have to be a big action. The day that you acknowledge that maybe your, say, money beliefs don't match what you want, and you decide to consciously change that, that's the day that you set the ball in motion and things start to just, things will happen. But you've got to believe, you've got to be consistent in your belief. It's a nurturing relationship, like with anything else.
Yeah, and sometimes it's tweaking just your perspective on it. So, a lot of people, I want money. Well, what is money? Money is a piece of paper, right? So,
exactly.
Okay, I want to manifest money. Okay, so what happens? I manifest like a million pieces of paper that have no meaning, right? So it's the meaning you give to money. And you have to ask yourself, okay, why do I want money? I want money because other people want money, or what does money equal for you? What does it mean to you? For a lot of people, it's freedom, right? So by focusing not on money, but focusing on the emotion or what that money is giving you, freedom, you're going to be better off. Or focusing on abundance, because you can feel abundant without actually having physical money yet in your world, your reality, your physical reality. It's already there. It's just not in your physical reality. So we always think, oh, I need to see it to believe it, but you have to be it before you see it, essentially. So we focus on abundance. And what's abundance? Abundance is, again, not just money. It could be nature. It could be, I know you and I have talked about, how to raise your vibration or raising your frequency, going out in nature. You like to go to the beach is one of the best things, because we have abundance all around us, family, friends, everything. A lot of it goes back to gratitude and feeling grateful for the things that you have in your life, instead of always being focused on what you don't have and what you're lacking and what you're trying to obtain from out there, right? You have to focus the inside first.
Yeah.
How you're feeling, how you're thinking. And a lot of it is training, because we're trained from a very young age. We have this thing called an ego, and, we have this separation, this idea of separation, me versus you all the time. Like, he has more, therefore he's happy, or something like that. We always think that happiness and fulfillment is going to come from something outside of us.
Right.
But it starts from within. It has to start from within. And a lot of that has a lot to do with feeling worthy, self-acceptance, self-love. So trusting yourself, honoring yourself, being kind to yourself are
Yes,
huge. Yeah.
it's so important. Those are the things that will put you in a good vibrational state.
Mhm.
And another thing I learned recently that's really, really interesting and cool. I can't wait to learn more about it. But frequencies, we all know, like when we say high vibes, like we say high vibes, but like that's a literal thing. Like when you are vibrating from a state of love and joy and gratitude, your energy is amplified. And as I do more work deeper and deeper into all of this spiritual greatness, I am noticing that I'm more sensitive to other people's energy around me. For sure, I
Mhm.
can feel it. And so when you're operating in a high vibrational state, you are not only helping yourself and you are in the ultimate state to attract things and manifest, but you're spreading that to others. Others
Right.
will pick up on that.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can be there for others and show up for your friends and your family and your loved ones, is to be taking care of yourself physically and mentally, because that's
And spiritually, right?
yeah,
Spiritually.
and it's yes,
Right.
absolutely, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't help others or be there for your family or be a good whatever, even just for yourself. Yeah, you have to make sure that, I mean, if you're not here to take care of yourself, no one else is going to. You, and it's physically, it's mentally, and like you said, especially spiritually.
Yeah.
And in doing that and in being happy and in doing the things you love, you're automatically you're connecting to your purpose, and your purpose might just be to light others up, and
Mhm.
that's what you're here to do in any way you can.
Right.
um but it's important to, not go broke by like buying things that you don't have money for. I don't mean that, and go like buy a car or like take a vacation that you really like you're overspending. But
You end up in debt or
that's
something. Yeah.
what did you say?
You end up in debt or
Yeah,
something.
you don't, I'm not saying to do that, but you have to act as though, like, if it's money that you want, you need to be very specific with yourself and with the universe about what it is that money means to you, what it would do for you, what it would give you the freedom to do, how it would help you show up, how it would help you be in your highest vibration. And you just have to, if that means little investments or just choosing one day to watch or read something informative rather than binge watch your favorite show for the 100th time, that's a small shift. The universe sees that, and that's amplified in the universe. And it's okay. She's doing something different. She's taking action now because she knows that the money is already there, and you've got to align with it. And if you constantly see that gap, like that's up here and you're down here, well, you've got, it's not, things aren't going to come down to you. You should never have, neither should you should never have to calibrate lower to people or to anything you want. You should always be looking to raise your own vibration to match what you want, and to
Right.
make sure, we have so many deep-seated beliefs, like we were saying. And how many times when we were younger have we been told that money doesn't grow on trees, or that we can't, like, what am I, Rockefeller? I love that one. I used to hear that all the time. I'm like, what? I don't know what that means, but
Like I'm too young to know what that means.
yeah, like who's Rockefeller? But I want to be, that sounds cool. Like, sounds
Yeah.
like that person has a lot of money. But we hear these things and we have to understand that, these beliefs, I mean, it's not like our parents weren't wrong, but those beliefs no longer serve us. And it's okay to say, okay, this is what I believe, but this is what I want. Thank you. Like, that no longer serves me. I'm removing those weeds from my garden. And that's, I'm going to plant new seeds that match my desire. And I'm going to do small things that better myself every day, and maybe make a list of my goals and read new books or talk to a mentor or hire a coach or take a course I've been wanting to take. Um, but the point is, you don't wait to have the money to do these things. Everyone is, oh, once I do this, I'll be able to invest in this. And once I do this,
Exactly.
it's one of my favorite metaphors is like, if you bought a restaurant, you wouldn't buy a restaurant and then say, oh, I'm not going to order any food though until I get my first customer. Like,
Mhm.
you don't do that. And it's
Right.
the same with this.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, it's got to be in alignment with you. And, part of it is a soul searching journey for yourself, I mean, law of attraction came out, people were like, oh, like the gimmicky thing where people, oh, I can just think about something and I can have it and that's going to make me happy. But
Right.
like you said, it takes, for me it took years of, just surrounding myself. I don't honestly, I don't use the law of attraction anymore. I don't force things, try to make it to happen. I don't do affirmations for myself. What I do is try to stay in a higher frequency, higher vibrational state, because I know from experience that attracts more like things to me, whether it's like-minded people. I mean, more synchronicities. I have lots of synchronicities happen in my life. I'll be at a store or something and just randomly somebody comes up to me and starts talking to me about Joe Dispenza or law of attraction, and we don't know anything about each other, and it just feels different, right? It just feels like this person is there. They're
Yeah.
meant to be there. And so when the other part about it is learning to really observe in your environment when things like that happen, because those are all
It's not
clues
just,
from the universe. It's giving you signs that you are attracting things into your life. We always think, oh, I have to wait until I attract this big, huge thing, right?
right.
That I put up here. Well, no, it's the little things. It's like when you and I just randomly reconnected about stuff
Right.
that we were both interested in. We never talked about it in our life, back in the day, years ago. And so it's learning to really observe those things and the advantages in them,
Yeah.
and then seeing the bigger picture.
We can't just wait. Exactly. We can't
You
just
can't
wait
wait.
for the big, we might be so busy looking for the big thing that we're not noticing
Mhm.
all of these things we're manifesting. Our logical brain. And I had someone tell me that, like, she's like, do you hear yourself with all of the things that you just said you manifested, and you, like, you're doing exactly what you love. You just moved into your new home 6 months ago. What are you like? Why don't you think that you have manifested things? And I'm
Right.
just like, well, I guess I have. I guess I just maybe, the tunnel vision thing.
Yeah, and it
And
goes back
you
to
have
the
to let
limiting beliefs, right?
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to let go of all of that, and just let go of your expectations on how you think things are supposed to happen.
Right.
Let go of your obsession about wanting something. It's already yours. Let go and trust. So,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
the other thing I wanted to bring up is sometimes it can feel like everything around you is falling apart, right?
Yeah,
Everything is crumbling and everything's going wrong, but it's the universe rearranging itself to actually bring you something better, something more in alignment to your true self, your
yeah.
higher self, your
And
authentic self, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's really important, to look from a broader, not just have the horse blinders on, right?
yeah,
And
let
yeah.
go of the tunnel vision. I think
Yeah.
that's a perfect way to wrap things up about letting go. It's so important. And I'd love to hear everyone's comments and see if that's worked for you. And real quick, Jen, I would love for you to just share, about the sun and about your book
Yeah.
coming out.
Absolutely. So, yeah, the Sun it's a platform that I'm the operations director for this platform for spiritual entrepreneurs, called the Spiritually United Network. And basically, what it is, it's a platform. You could think of it like a LinkedIn for entrepreneurs who are more into like spirituality, growing their business from the ground up. So whether you have a business existing or whether you're just starting out, you're thinking of having an online business and you don't know how to go about doing it, or social media, because it can be overwhelming. This is a platform for people like you, people like us that can use it, engagement support. It's a community of like-minded individuals. So just connecting with law of attraction, having that support system around you to keep your vibration high and your frequency high, especially when you're trying to grow a business. Because a lot of people think, oh, like spiritual business, like, and making money. It's like two different things, you know, it's hard to combine the two, but you know, this helps. We have a business consultant who is on the platform. We have tutorials, we have courses, we have monthly mastermind calls, Q&As, experts that come on from in the field, where we do live events and webinars and stuff like that. So it's a really cool platform. If anybody's interested, you know, you can just message me or send me a link. I can give you more information on that. And yeah, as far as the book, it's not out yet. It's with a publisher, but it's going to be called the 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict, because I used to be an addict, you know, I will admit, with self-help books, with law of attraction books. You know, when I first found The Secret, I bought up literally every law of attraction book that I could find, and always looking to find the secret in every book that I picked up. But really, years later down the line, I noticed that, okay, it's not the book that's going to give me anything. Again, external thing, right? Yeah. It's coming from inside out, how I'm feeling and thinking, and that's the most important thing. So it's a shift in mindset. So I'm excited for that. I'll let you know when it's going to be out, and we can talk about it more. But
yes, also I'm going to make sure, yes, a link to your page, your website. Jen has over 200 YouTube videos. I'm like binge watching them. I love it. Law of attraction, manifestation, just really good, like self-improvement tips and guides and stuff like that. Also, I'll have to talk to you about this more another time, that the whole self-hypnosis that you do, that's so cool that you have gotten into that and have done that. And you offer programs with that as well. So
yeah, so that's up on my website as well. Yeah. I actually recently put out a bundle pack that includes 2 ebooks of mine and then 5 self-hypnosis MP3s in there for self-growth. Yeah.
Cool. I'll make sure I definitely put that up right away. And Jen, it was so awesome talking with you and catching up on everything. Yes. Just full times. And contrary to our technical challenges earlier. I know. That's always the whole thing back with all this stuff. And guys, I know the audio and probably the video portion of this is not the best on my end, but it's improving every episode, hopefully little by little, as we're learning more, like with the technical stuff. So yes, it was awesome. Great conversation. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, take care. All right. Thank you so much.